Today in Ranchi, the heart of Jharkhand, Christians have taken to the streets in a powerful silent march. This demonstration comes as a response to a wave of arrests and rising attacks against believers. For first-time hearers, this is not just a local event, it is part of a wider story of faith under pressure, echoing the struggles of Christians across history. As followers of Christ and as shepherds of his flock, we cannot look away. This march is a living testimony of endurance, prayer, and witness in the face of trial. The arrests and their background. In recent weeks, reports emerged of Christians being detained in Ranchi under accusations tied to religious activities. Families and church members claim these arrests are unjust and politically motivated, targeting pastors and lay leaders who were simply gathering for prayer or social outreach. The silent march is a response to these incidents, with participants choosing silence as a form of non-violent resistance, allowing their unity and presence to speak louder than words. Just as the early Christians faced imprisonment for their faith, today's faithful in Ranchi echo that same resilience, refusing to be silenced by fear. Rising attacks on Christians in Jharkhand. Beyond the arrests, Ranchi and the surrounding areas have seen an increase in physical assaults, church vandalism, and intimidation of Christian families. Local communities report threats against those who convert or openly practice their faith. For the Christian faithful, this is not merely social tension, it is persecution. The march brings attention to these rising hostilities, pleading for peace and protection of religious freedom. It is a cry for justice that calls the wider church, both Catholic and Protestant, to intercede and advocate for their brothers and sisters in Ranchi. The role of the Catholic Church and religious leaders. Religious leaders, including Catholic priests, nuns, and lay representatives, walked shoulder to shoulder with the people in this silent march. Their presence is deeply symbolic, it shows that the Church stands with its flock in suffering, just as Christ, the Good Shepherd, walks with his people in the valley of the shadow. The Church's role here is not political, but pastoral, raising awareness, guiding prayers, and urging authorities to protect all citizens regardless of faith. For Pope Leo XIV's followers and Christian leaders worldwide, this event is a reminder of the Church's prophetic voice in times of crisis. Historical parallels, silent witness in Church tradition. Throughout history, the Church has used silence as a form of protest and prayer. From the early martyrs in Rome to peaceful vigils in modern times, silence has carried the weight of moral authority when words were forbidden or dangerous. The silent march in Ranchi fits into this tradition. A public display of faith without retaliation. It recalls the Gospel's call to turn the other cheek while still bearing witness to truth. By remaining silent, the Christians of Ranchi speak volumes to the world about courage, hope, and fidelity to Christ. Global implications and call to Christian solidarity. This event in Ranchi is not isolated. Across the globe, Christians face rising persecution, from Asia to Africa, and the story echoes beyond borders. For Christian leaders and faithful around the world, the silent march is a summons to prayer, advocacy, and unity. Just as St. Paul urged the early church to carry each other's burdens, so too are we called to stand with Ranchi. The implications are clear: religious freedom is fragile, and our response must be steadfast solidarity. Today, the Church Universal is reminded that when one member suffers, the whole body suffers with it. The silent march in Ranchi is more than a protest, it is a living witness of faith in action. For first-time hearers, it is a call to understand the trials of our brothers and sisters in Christ. For Christian leaders and believers worldwide, it is a call to prayer, advocacy, and unity. As the Church has stood strong through centuries of persecution, so too will today's faithful endure. Let us not forget Ranchi, and let us continue to lift them up in our prayers and voices. Their silence speaks, but we must echo it to the world.